Hi everyone, and welcome to day 2 of our Halloween lessons. Yesterday we looked at what Halloween is and some of the stories and tales that have formed our Halloween celebrations as it is today. Lots of things coming from myths and tales from our ancestors in the past. I set you a challenge to break the code by answering 7 questions on yesterday's topic. And if you answered the questions by watching the video and getting all your answers from the video, you will know that our topic today is the Jack-o'-lantern. What is the Jack-o'-lantern and why is it so important in our Halloween tale? Well, a jack-o'-lantern is a pumpkin that has a ghoulish or ghastly, scary, spooky face carved into it, so on its outside. Inside, all the insides of the pumpkin are scooped out, and inside is a candle. You place a lit candle, and the eerie glow from the light of the flame of the candle casts this fiendish, spooky shadow and light from the carved face of the pumpkin. This jack-o'-lantern originally comes from an Irish folk tale, so it has its origins in myth and legend. So we don't know the true origins of where the jack-o'-lantern came from. But this tale sets the scene as a likely place for the start of the jack-o'-lantern journey. And it's about a folk tale about an Irish gentleman called Stingy Jack. I'll say that word again because it's quite a tricky one. Stingy. Now, in a couple of minutes, I will tell you the tale of Stingy Jack, and I will also tell you what stingy means. But if you're watching this video right now, and before I tell you, in the comments below, have a guess. What does stingy mean? And I'll give you a clue. People associate this word particularly with the Scottish people, me. We have a reputation for being stingy. Now think about the stereotypes of Scottish people. What is a good stereotype for a Scotsman or a Scotswoman? What do people say about Scots people? Think about the word stingy. What does it sound like? On with our tale about the jack-o'-lantern. Originally, because this tale comes from Ireland, and as we saw yesterday, it also has roots in Scotland and in Wales, the Celtic-speaking nations. We don't have pumpkins in Scotland or in Ireland or in Wales. We don't grow them. They are not a native plant from the British Isles, from the UK, from here. Instead, our native vegetables are turnips and potatoes. So instead of carving these pumpkins, as we do now, we import pumpkins and we have special growers of pumpkins, people used turnips or large potatoes. Now, the one advantage of nowadays using a pumpkin over a turnip or a potato is that the pumpkin, the flesh of the pumpkin, it's actually much softer than a turnip or a potato when it's raw. And that means it's much easier to carve scary pictures, scary faces, and other scenes into the flesh of a pumpkin. Turnips are extremely hard and very difficult to carve, and not only carve, but to gouge out the innards of the pumpkin so you can put a candle in its insides. So thankfully nowadays we have the pumpkin and we can create large scary faces, but traditionally it was a turnip or a potato. How did we come to have the jack-o'-lantern as a pumpkin nowadays instead of a turnip or a potato? Well, hundreds and thousands of Irish immigrants moved to America. And this tradition, their beliefs and this tale went with them. And not perhaps having access to turnips, they used the pumpkin instead. And the pumpkin became the face, as it were, of Halloween, of this ghoulish lantern that was lit up and placed in the windows of people on Halloween, the eve of All Hallows Day, and the celebration of remembrance, if you remember it from yesterday. So who was this chap? Who was Stingy Jack? Now, if you've taken a guess for what the word stingy means, did you guess correctly? The definition is, you are mean with your money. Someone who doesn't like to spend their money on other people. Frugal is another word. A spendthrift. Somebody who likes to keep their money to themselves. Maybe they will only buy things for themselves. If they are out with friends having coffee, they won't offer to pay for other coffee. They will only buy their own. So they are stingy with their money. That's the definition of stingy. You can be stingy with other things, but here in this tale I'm about to tell, it means you are mean with your money. You don't want to spend your own money. Probably quite happy spending other people's money, just not your own. So, Stingy Jack. Who was he? And why do we have a lantern named after him? Well, this story is of Irish origin, as I told you already, and it's an Irish myth, a folk tale, a story that has been passed on from generation to generation. And according to the story, Jack invited the devil to have a drink with him. And true to his name, Stingy Jack did not want to buy the drink, didn't want to pay for his drink. And so he persuaded the devil to turn himself into a coin that Jack could use to buy their drinks. So instead of Jack wanting to go into his wallet and hand over money, he convinced the devil that he should become a coin and he would use that coin to buy the drink. Once the devil did so, Jack decided to keep that coin and put it in his pocket next to a silver cross, which prevented the devil from changing back into his original form. So the devil was stuck as a coin. Jack eventually freed the devil, but made a deal with the devil that if he freed him, then he could not bother Jack for another year. And should Jack die during that time, the devil would not claim his soul. The next year, Jack again tricked the devil into climbing up a tree and to pick a piece of fruit. While he was up the tree, Jack carved a cross into the tree's bark, preventing the devil from climbing back down the tree. He again made a condition, a promise with the devil, that he would cover the cross to allow the devil to climb down from the tree, on the promise and the condition that the devil would not come back and bother him for 10 years. The devil, obviously wanting to get down from the tree, promised that he would not come back for 10 years. So Jack allowed him to come down from the tree. Soon after, however, Jack died. The legend tells that God would not allow such a prankster, an unsavoury figure, to come into heaven. We don't want people playing tricks and not sticking to their promises into heaven. The devil, who was upset that Jack had tricked him not once but twice, equally didn't want him in hell. And while he kept his word in not claiming his soul, he would not allow Jack to enter into hell. Instead, he sent Jack off with a lump of lit burning coal into the dark night, and that was all he had to light his way. Jack put the coal into a carved out turnip and has been roaming the earth ever since, stuck between the living and the dead. The Irish began to refer to this ghostly figure that they saw appear at this time of year, this ghostly apparition of Jack with his carved turnip and the lump of lit coal lighting his way, as Jack of the Lantern, which became shortened to Jack-o'-lantern. In Scotland and Ireland, people began to make their own versions of the jack-o'-lantern, carving scary faces into turnips or potatoes and placing them in their windows or near doors to frighten away Stingy Jack. We don't want Stingy Jack in our homes. And also other wandering evil spirits. In England, they actually used large beetroot, which is a red fleshy root vegetable. And as I've said before, over time immigrants have moved from Scotland and Ireland and Wales and England and taken this tale with them across the oceans and told this tale to the people that they met. And the tradition of jack-o'-lantern, a scary face carved into a turnip or a potato or a pumpkin, and a lit candle placed inside and placed near doors or windows, still carries on to ward off evil spirits, to stop them from entering your house. So that is the tale of the jack-o'-lantern. As with yesterday, I have given you 6 questions this time to crack the code all about the jack-o'-lantern and to find out what our final topic will be tomorrow, Halloween. So watch the video again. All the answers to the questions are in this video. They are on your screen. You have read them. So go over the video again, answer the 6 questions, and the answers to the questions will give you the answer to the topic for tomorrow. And for your opportunity to win a 20-minute one-to-one session with me, all you have to do is send me a Facebook message giving me the answer, the code answer to tomorrow's lesson. And I will pick one person at random who gives me the correct answer to win a 20-minute one-to-one English lesson with me to help you solve a ghastly problem that you have with English. So, just to remind you, if you want to win a free 20-minute one-to-one lesson, watch the video again, print off the question sheet that accompanies this video, answer all the questions. Each one appears in this video. Answer the questions, work out the code, send me your answer in a messenger message, and I will be back tomorrow to reveal the answer and to tell you the final part of our Halloween lessons. And tomorrow, I will be live. See you tomorrow.